So, what I want to share at this point of time is this amazing clarity that has been coming to me over past few years, and that has decided the course of my life. uh, the consciousness is always looking at, is there a unity in your thoughts, words and action? Are you willing to let go of all that might come your way if you make some adjustments or some compromises on what you feel about things? Consciousness is always testing us for where is our moment of weakness, where is that small weak link in the chain where it can sort of break and it can go into a individual stream or create its own stream of individuality or limited consciousness, because we always have been part of this one whole free flowing consciousness. There is something that makes us break away from it. There is some liking, some temptation, some need being fulfilled, uh, that makes us actually step away from the flow. And then the larger cause starts to get us, takes us, and makes us continue with it. We may recognize that we have slipped, we have moved away, but we keep justifying it that this is part of the larger uh, good, and we keep overlooking it. And we keep this justification is real, because the mind's job is to give us justifications, and the mind will always tell us that there is a bigger picture, and let's look at the bigger picture and let these smaller principles which are behind it be damned or maybe compromised. And slowly we start believing in it that the larger picture is more important, and the smaller picture of what is being done to reach there, of the toes that you're stepping on, and of all the compromises that is being made in the individual consciousness, those are sacrificed in the garb of a larger good. And that's how we create our destiny. We do reach out, we do expand, we make a big name, we start looking at numbers, we start looking at what is the sphere of influence, we start competing, we start getting awards, we start getting recognized, we make a name for ourselves. It's like Gandhi, who ended up becoming the father of the nation but could never become a father to his own son, and his son was his biggest critic. It's sort of, we go out to win the world when our own children are unhappy, and that is like wanting to appear to the world as perfect, but inside in our house there is a fire burning. And that's how the world of externality pulls us. And so what the consciousness is saying is, whatever may be the bigger picture doesn't matter, because there is nothing big and small, everything is only in the moment. If in the moment you operate out of that clarity, and if you are doing things for the sake of doing them without expecting any reward or return or recognition, then that itself, from a trickle, from a drop it becomes a trickle, and from a trickle it becomes a stream, and from a stream it becomes a river, and from a river it becomes a bigger river till it merges with the ocean. The drop does not bother whether it is a trickle, or whether it is a stream, or whether it is a river. A drop is complete and whole in its own recognition that it is a drop, and it is complete in all aspects by itself. And whether it becomes part of a trickle or a stream or a river, and finally the ocean, it knows that it is in oneness at all times. So, those are the choices that are presented to us in the moment. And as we keep making these choices which come in the moment, and each choices are big and small only in the way you interpret it, because nothing is big or small, everything is just is. We keep saying the bigger picture and the smaller picture, because the bigger picture only consists of hundreds and hundreds of smaller pictures. Every dot that you paint, every line that you make on the canvas is contributing to the bigger picture of Krishna that comes out. So you cannot make a picture of Krishna just in one stroke. It's hundreds of strokes that you will have to paint. So if the detail wasn't there in the smaller paintbrush or the smaller dots, the bigger picture would not look good. So we cannot focus on just the bigger picture and justify that all the other spots are overlooked. That is again the way of the world, and we are succumbing to it in wanting to show, in wanting to do, in wanting to be seen. So that always is a temptation. That's always a choice given to us in our consciousness. Which one will you choose? Will you go for that external recognition, or will you do it for satisfying your soul? In that, there is no scale that is important. There is nothing that you are doing. You are just beginning to express at all times that balance that you have and the alignment that you hold between what you say, what you think, and what you do. And as we keep holding on to that, something much more deeper opens up inside you. That deeper which tells you that you hold the responsibility to at least live your own life in consonance with that one consciousness. And whoever wants to walk along with you, whoever will come to you, will also merge in that unity of thought, words, and action, into that flow. And that is the role, that the job that we have, is to hold that space and to hold that light for everybody to come in into that one. And if we create separatedness for ourselves, our own individuality, and we stand separately, then we create islands. We create structures and organizations which have their own challenges that emanate. But when you stand in the center and you allow everything to come around you and fit in as a part of you, as an extension of you, then the constituents of the whole becomes part of all that comes and gets added to it. The nucleus starts to spread, and the nucleus spreads in an even way, and all that gets joined to the nucleus becomes part of the nucleus. There are no more separations left, and in a circle of life it starts to expand, and it grows always in perfection. It's never out of balance. It just is, and in its isness it is fully blooming. And all that is feeling the fragrance, the light, and the vibration of this isness, just comes and gets added to that whole. This is how this new world is being constructed. And it has to be with a certain distaste for what has happened in the past, because that only allows you to be stronger in your resolve. That is the way to do it. That's the way the new world is going to be constructed. That everything spreads around the nucleus, and as long as the nucleus is clear, and as long as the nucleus is pure and clear, everything will come in and become and merge in that one. And that is the journey we are upon. And that is the magic of this mist, coming in. It's all coming in because it's all getting attracted into this one indivisible, unrecognizable whole. It has its own shape, its own form, its own fragrance, its own light. Welcome to Kailasa, the abode of love, where everything melts and merges into this one consciousness. May all beings in all dimensions be happy and peaceful. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.